Hey guys, it's Pete and Roxy here. Today we're going to give you a short little video on lessons and the whole point of what elevation in consciousness really is. And we just want to talk about actually getting the lesson to learn and expand your consciousness, your awareness. That is the whole point of us coming to Earth, to learn, experience, and clear out any lessons that we may not have gotten in our other past lives. Right, Pete?
Yeah, that's right. One of the things which we were, I think, lucky enough to get guided to early was the ability to be able to use different modalities, use yoga, use meditation, use breath work, use plant medicine, use whatever else it might be, different things that help us to tap into a higher state of consciousness, to drop the veil down, get rid of our conscious mind a little bit so that we can tap into our subconscious, tap into information from the divine. As we learnt to do that, one of the things that we found really important was the power of setting a really clear intention. And the intention that we have found that we consistently go back to when we ask ourselves is, what is the lesson for me? So in other words, when you drink the plant medicine, does somebody have a cry? Do they see psychedelics and maybe, they spit in the bucket or whatever happens and go, wow, what an amazing night, I saw these amazing colors and drifted around and, the real reason you do something like that, in our opinion, if your intention is to float around, that's unreal. But if your intention is to do this to help you to be the better version of yourself, the question you ask yourself is, what is the lesson there? Why is it that I experience this or experience that? Why is it when I did that breath work that, images of my father came up, or I got a memory of the time I got in trouble as a child, or whatever it is, right? That whatever you're doing, you're deep in meditation and all of a sudden you're getting a feeling of something or you get a visual of something, etc. The great question you ask yourself is, what is the lesson? What is it trying to show me? Because so often the subconscious or the connection to the divine, whatever you want to call it, advanced intuition, is trying to guide us to some sort of issue or thing, that lesson that we can learn so that we can help to then change our law of attraction. Because if we miss the lesson, right, it keeps coming back to us day to day
We'll get louder and louder and louder, and ignorance is bliss. But it'll be your downfall if you keep ignoring the lesson. The universe will eventually bring it back to you, back to show you what the lesson is.
Right, and a small example, you have a problem with your father, you don't acknowledge it properly, but it might have been too hard on you. It might manifest itself in your day-to-day life as you have a problem with authority, and you hate people telling you what to do, and you've got a problem with your boss, or you got a problem with the local government or the council, or you got a problem with the law or whatever it might be. You have a problem with authority. So what happens? You keep having a problem with authority in all these different areas of your life, and you think to yourself, well, I have all these problems with the law and with authority and a horrible boss and a this and a that. My brother doesn't, my neighbor doesn't, my friends don't. Well, really, once you start getting into this, and some of you guys will be learning and starting to see this, you go, well, hang on, what's all this trying to show me? What is the feeling that comes up when these different events happen? Because if you can catch it quick, you go back, basically you never have a problem again. You go back there and you deal with the issue at its root cause, and your law of attraction changes. Also, though, you avoid a crisis.
Yeah.
Because a crisis could be, you get locked up, you find yourself in court, you find yourself really pushed hard down by rules and authority and constraint, and particularly if you feel like it's unjust, which might have, in my feeling, would come from someone, probably as a child, it felt unjustly hard or unfair, and that feeling hasn't been worked through, but it locked into your little soul right when you were young, and you've carried it all the way through your life, and now it manifests itself for you as an adult. See, that is how the law of attraction is giving us an opportunity to work through it. So once you learn about this, you do these different modalities. If you're in there and you're doing breath work and an image of your dad pops up and the time he scolded you or put you in the room and it wasn't your fault, it was unfair and you felt so unjust, and you can get into that emotion and clear it out and go, oh, wow, I get the lesson. You get that lesson, and I become a master at finding lessons now. Everything. There's a lesson here, there's a lesson there.
That's the name to this game. If you want to elevate and do it and put importance on it, you need to learn the lessons. And we only worked this out earlier this year, and since that, we just look at every situation. Okay, if it's not a positive in flow for us, what's the lesson for us? Don't point the finger. What's the lesson for us inside me? So yeah, being the observer and looking in before you blame, because half the time it's our dirty bottle of water that's just looking for, clarity, love, for us to love ourselves again, for us to forgive ourselves for that childhood memory that happened, or, anything. Yes. Everything's a lesson in your life everywhere you go. If it's not in flow, it's a lesson.
And guys, I'd encourage you once again, as we always suggest, try different modalities, try different things, which will give you different parts of the puzzle. All of that gives you wisdom and it gives you understanding of how it all works. But the real wisdom is when you take the knowledge and you turn the knowledge into understanding that's relative to you. That is where you learn the lessons. That is where you then understand you, yourself, your behavior. And, there's that famous saying, it's so easy to join the dots looking backwards. And all the things that happen in our life certainly often happen for a reason, and often we miss it completely until we start down this path. So we want to wish you all the best with it, because it's been an amazing change in our life, this whole
learning the
journey,
lesson.
right?
Yeah, be gentle on yourself. This is a journey. It's like a cross-country long journey. It's not over and done with in a night. We've got years and years of undoing to do and re-stitching up to make us beautiful, loving beings with unity consciousness. So sending lots of love from Australia to wherever you are, and get in contact with us if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you soon.